Welcome, everyone, to the Workplace Navigation Podcast. Today, we have our special guest, Heather Greiner, who is a technical writer at Riot Games. And today, Heather, I believe you're going to talk about the topic of feedback, the feedback loop. And before we get started, I just want to share something that I gleaned about a year ago with regard to feedback, some myths, three myths. One is that feedback is simple, people want it, and only leaders should give it. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. Please let us know what you're thinking about feedback.
Thanks, Mike. I'm so glad to be back. I love working with you. I love chatting with you. Feedback is near and dear to my heart. Um, Seeking it because it's hard to do. It's hard to seek feedback because I seek feedback on my work, not validation for who I am as a writer and as a person. And if I conflate those two things, I'm in trouble. So keeping feedback focused on my work is important to me. They say growth begins outside your comfort zone. And if I just have people patting me on the back telling me I'm doing a good job all the time, then I don't grow. I don't grow as a writer. I don't grow as a person. I don't grow as a teammate. Um, and I don't want to stagnate ever. So I seek feedback. And it's not easy because I have learned over the years to seek feedback from the people who are my harshest critics.
Mhm.
Because again, the people who pat me on the back and say, no, this is good, or God forbid, this is fine. This is not fine. Good enough isn't at this point in my career. 30 years in, I don't want good enough. Good enough isn't. Um, and I do seek feedback from peers. I seek feedback from anyone I encounter and work with. If I've spent more than a week on a project with you, where we had in meaningful interaction and I turned something into your project, I would like at least a sentence. And I ask for it in the moment because where I work now, I work on 10 different projects per quarter on a
Mhm.
slow quarter. If I go at the end of the year and ask all those people for feedback, they don't remember working with me
Mhm.
and I don't get genuine feedback. So I need to ask in the moment. I need to ask, and it's easier in the moment to say, right now, give me a sentence. And they do.
Mhm.
And they understand because they have to do the same thing. So we have a culture of feedback where I work, and we have to go up and down with our feedback. Our managers request feedback from individual contributors. So they get it too. So when they get a request for feedback after a project, I end up getting one back from them. Like, don't forget to do mine. It's reciprocation because they also need to improve. Managers rarely get the pat on the back. You're doing a great job. They don't hear that. That's not what they get to hear. So for me, I grew up in a parochial school system, so feedback was always harsh and immediate. And you were not allowed to respond. You just had to take it. Um, so coming into adulthood, work life, and hearing feedback no longer being that little kid mindset of an authoritarian figure telling me I'm wrong. I've learned my favorite acronym is JADE. Don't justify, argue, defend, or explain.
Mhm.
When someone gives me feedback, if I've asked for it, I get to sit and listen. If I didn't ask for it and I'm getting it anyway, I get to sit and listen. And I get to say, thank you. I'm going to take what you've said and I'm going to process it. Almost always, a response is not needed in the room
Mhm.
other than, I hear you.
Mhm.
Because my initial response is, how dare you? My initial
Mhm.
response is that flush of anger to defend myself or concern for my job. If I get harsh feedback, that first thought, I'm going to get fired.
Mhm.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not curing cancer in my job. No one's getting hurt by the work I'm doing. And if there's a mistake made, I get to learn from it and I get to show what I've learned. That's why I need that pause, that initial feedback, and I get to say thank you. And then I get to take it and I get to go process it. And I give myself, I'll time box it because I can overthink, in case you didn't know that about me. Um, so I give myself, I'll set a 30-minute timer and I'll write a response and I'll stop. I'll write my initial thoughts and I'll set it aside and I'll come back to it the next day. But I have to let it go because if I dwell on it and perseverate on it, I get into that justifying and arguing and defending, and that's not a good place in the workplace. It's not a good place in my home to carry that kind of stress. So I get to think about it and write down what they said to me and think about what it really means and where am I taking it personally. Did my writing style not reflect what they wanted? That's not a personal attack. That's me misunderstanding the project and what they needed from me. So I get to come back and say, okay, I have questions. Where did I misunderstand? I don't ever come back to feedback with you did something. I come back with how can I grow? How can I change? How did I misunderstand? Because here's my original notes. These are the notes I took. Where did I misunderstand? So that the next time we meet, I'll know to ask these questions at the beginning. That helps so much for me to process feedback. And I learned that from a college professor. I took an English course. I was an English major in college, and I had a creative writing course. And instead of 1 hour 3 times a week, it was 3 hours 1 day a week. And it was a late afternoon class, so there wasn't a lot of people in it. And he would lecture for the first part of the class, and then he would give us a prompt, and we would write. And we would bring our papers up to him in class. And he
Hmm.
would have his hard brace, and he had that thing memorized. He knew what everything was. And you'd get all these diacritical red marks, red, all these red marks. And he would talk it through with you and send you back to your desk to rewrite your work. He taught us the peer review process in the moment. You take the feedback, you make it better. Your first draft is never perfect. If your MVP is ready to ship, you waited too long. You put too much into it. You, I come into projects now, my first draft is a first draft. I expect feedback and I expect it to be harsh because I'm missing things because I'm writing along with the development process. You're still developing. I can't know what you're doing yet. So I'm writing with you. And that gives them feedback as well when they see my writing mid project. Oh, we made a left turn here. I need to correct that. Why would you think that, Heather? Oh, well, because I'm a user. I didn't write this program. I'm using it. Oh, no one's going to click that button. I did. Oh, we need to rethink how this process works. So that feedback loop often and from as many people as you can get is crucial for me because that's the only way I grow. And 30 years in tech writing, I continue to grow. I continue to learn as I work with new, younger people, new engineers, new tech writers. There's new, there with the AI technology, there's new things happening and
Hmm.
there's new ways of providing feedback. And I still have old thinking. And I get to learn, oh, we don't do that anymore. That's no longer business standard. Business standard for the financial structure that I taught and worked in for the first half of my career does not exist anymore.
Hmm.
Nobody writes or talks like that. And I get to learn and grow on a regular basis how to keep the voice of the company I'm working for in my writing. So I'm constantly growing and changing. And the only
Hmm.
way to do that is seeking feedback. If I wait for feedback to come to me, I'm behind, and that feedback is going to be harsher, harder to take, and might have more lasting impact
Hmm.
on a negative side. If
Hmm.
I seek feedback, that shows professional growth. Management appreciates it. They see willingness, and that's where I live.
So may I ask, what if do you need to trust the person giving feedback to you before you
No,
accept it? You don't. Okay.
no. That relationship, we have a work relationship.
Hmm.
I trust the trust. The trust is that we are both in the same boat rowing. We both have the same goal, which is our
Hmm.
customers are happy.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's that part I trust. And that mindset helps me a lot when I'm seeking feedback. I, Coming to work in general, knowing we're all in the same boat, knowing we're all rowing towards the same goal matters. And that trust is what matters to me.
So you get feedback that's rather acidic.
Hmm.
And what keeps you from saying in your mind, this sounds like a you problem, not a me problem?
Oh, nothing. I absolutely say that in my mind. But that's why I wait. That's why I write things
Ah,
down and say, I
right.
appreciate it. I'm going to take this back to my office. I'm going
Mm-mm.
to think about it, and then I will respond and we can continue working. I don't like feedback to be an end. I like feedback to be a middle. It's part of a
Oh,
process. It's
I
not the
see.
end. That's what that's what a retrospective is for. That's
You
not
know,
feedback.
when I was getting my master's degree, I'd been writing a paper every week for up to a year now. And I'm a technical writer background, so I'm a good
Mhm,
writer, right, in my mind. And I turned in a paper that they asked for 10 pages. I turned in 15 because being an overachiever. And he gave me the grade back F.
mhm,
And I couldn't believe it. I was getting straight A's. How could I get an F? And not even a comment. And I went back and I said, what's the problem? He said, I asked for 10 pages. And I said, well, I gave you more. He said, I have 30 students. If everybody gave me a 15-page paper, I'd be working 50% more on 30 students. You need to do what we were asked you to do. And in addition to that, your executive summary is garbage. And I thought, you're kidding me. I've been writing executive summaries since God was a boy. Anyway, uh, I didn't take it personally. I went back and I said, will you help me? And I
yeah,
had a bias because this guy was a Marine and he had a PhD, and I thought he's a jarhead and blah, 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 which was a bias, which was incorrect. It was totally
mhm,
wrong. Anyway, I asked for help, and he taught me, after being a technical writer for 15 years, Heather, after
mhm.
writing a paper a week for close to a year, he taught me how to write an executive summary
Yep.
correctly.
Yeah.
He taught me, and I learned that this other lesson that do what's being asked, pay attention to the requirements. So I learned two lessons from this guy that I didn't respect on paper, but he ended up being my superior in many
Mhm.
aspects. And it was a valuable life lesson from that simple feedback. Have you had the same thing
I
happen?
have I've had things like that happen where someone does challenge me
Yeah.
to 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 read the requirements. My favorite story is writing printer manuals for a
Oh,
company. And the owner of the company came out and said, Stop. I just got off the phone with my 70-year-old mother, walking her through hooking up her printer. Our audience is my mother,
ah,
because this was the 90s. Our audience is my mother. Our audience is not the 15-year-olds and college students hooking up their printers. They don't need this manual. They're not
mhm.
going to read it.
Yeah, right.
The ones who
Exactly.
are going to read it are not. So we had to adjust our audience and understanding that scope change. So that's a question I ask. Who's our audience? Who's going to be consuming this and what are they like? And doing that audience evaluation. So that I learned from someone who, we learned it the hard way. But hearing those lessons and hearing someone say, no, you're wrong, because and it's like, but why am I wrong? How am I wrong? It's not even the why, it's the how am I wrong? Where did I misunderstand? And having someone who can explain, not the why, because that's a personal question. How? How you're
Mhm.
wrong. Here's where we miscommunicated. Here's where we missed a requirement. Here's where you missed. I'm guilty of reading the first half of a question and not the end, which doesn't do well in math word problems. I would miss the second half of the prompt. I would miss the second half of, oh, by the way, this can only be 10 pages long. I wouldn't see that. So I would get the same issue. I had a teacher in college who only wanted one page. And in that one page, we had to make 7 points. And once he hit seven, he would stop reading. and you got your A.
Okay.
You would get these hash marks down the margin of the page.
Yeah.
And when he hit 7, he stopped. Even
Mhm.
though there might be 2 more paragraphs to read. Nope, I got my 7 points. Here's your A, go away. If you wrote on the back, he wouldn't flip it over.
Oh
If you
my
didn't have
goodness.
7 by the time you hit the bottom of the page, that's what you got.
Yeah.
That taught me a very minimalist style of writing, which came in handy as I got into tech writing because I could be very verbose and over explain. And that is for executive summaries. That is not
Mm-hmm.
for the end user. It's understanding your
Mm-hmm.
audience
Mm-hmm.
and getting that feedback. And now I give that feedback when someone turns something into me for review. Who is your audience? Oh, this is
Yeah.
for engineers. Take all of this out. They don't
Yeah.
want it. Their
Yeah.
manager wants it's good content. Keep it. But that goes to management level when
Yeah.
they ask, what's the reasoning behind this? So being able to parse that feedback so that it's not this is all bad, go away. Here's where it's good and here's who needs it
Mm-hmm.
rather than junk it because no, you've written good content here. We just need to figure out where it goes to be effective. And that's crucial too, is understanding that. So learning that from people at work, from college professors, and from peers who ask the questions like, oh, I've worked with this team before. Here's a little tidbit. They like it like they like their content that delivered this way. Oh, good to know. They want iterative. They don't want the final product at the end. They want to see every week. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
knowing how a team works helps too.
So if I were to summarize, if one was to summarize your lessons on feedback, what would you say that would be, generally speaking, for everybody?
Don't take it personally.
Okay. Don't take it personally.
Listen intently.
Listen,
Take notes.
take notes. Exactly. Yeah.
Say thank you.
Say thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Say thank you. Appreciate what you heard
In the
and
moment.
process it.
In the
Process it
moment.
slowly.
Yeah.
Say, I will let the person know you have heard them. You want to take time to carefully consider what they've said because they took the time to give you the feedback. That was not off the cuff.
Yeah.
They took the time to write something up or to pull you aside to give you feedback. They deserve the same respect of
Yeah.
you taking the time to process,
Yeah.
to give, to request more information or to
Mhm.
provide a response.
Mhm.
Don't ever respond in the moment if you can avoid it,
Yes.
other than to say thank you, I hear you.
But you mentioned asking for feedback in the moment, though, to have it more effective. Yeah.
In the moment, yes, meaning you're working on a project. Don't wait until the project is finished and it's closed to then say, oh, by the way, I need feedback for my performance review at the end of the year. Don't wait for the end of the year. When
Mhm.
you're working on something, get feedback while you're doing it. And then when it comes to performance feedback, that's when you take it
Mhm.
and process. And I'm a big fan when I'm actually doing editorial feedback and not
Mhm. Y-
professional,
Right.
you
E-
know,
e- Exactly.
performance feedback. I like to put in little jokes when I'm looking at something and the writer has misused a style or something. It's like, did we change this? Asking for a friend. Um, I put little notes like that in because
Great.
sometimes it's like, wait, did we change this style in the style guide? And I forgot. I'm the friend I'm asking for because I'm, I genuinely want, or it's, should we change this? Because I kind of like what you did here. So I try to infuse a little bit of humor when I'm doing feedback
Oh,
at that
yeah.
level
Yes.
so that they know I'm not attacking things personally. I'm saying, oh, wait, this looks different than what we
Yeah.
usually do. Can we work it out?
Heather, I totally miss working with you. I gotta say, I think your golden rule though is don't jade it.
Don't jade it.
Don't jade it. No, don't justify, argue, defend, or explain.
100%.
Okay. Well, thank you for today. I learned a lot. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you. I'm
And,
glad I got to share some feedback with you that I got from the last podcast.
and I hope we can do another topic soon.
I would love to. I would
Okay.
love to come back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your
Thanks, sir.
time. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.